Hey guys, Thunderhound 369 here today, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Beast Machines Night Viper. Now, I wasn't necessarily that big a fan of the Beast Machine series. The show I didn't think was that great. Most of the figures that came out of this toy line I didn't think were real good. But there were a few absolute diamonds in the series. And Night Viper here is absolutely the best of the whole shebang. I mean, he is the diamond out of the whole series. So I'll give you a little bit of background on Night Viper here. His motto is, "I'm very good at what I do, maybe too good." And it goes on and says, Night Viper is the stealthiest Maximal. His tail acts as a repulsor rocket, providing supersonic speed. Internal radar scramblers allow him to move virtually unseen in both robot and beast mode. His robot mode features frictionless surface, increasing his speed and making him an extremely hard target. Armor alloys deflect most energy pulses. Recycles enemy fire into plasma venom blasts that short-circuit Viacon's circuitry. Now, we'll go ahead and take a look at Night Viper here. As you can see, he transforms into a Cobra, as you can see. Looks very nice. So midnight gray, or midnight blue, blue gray with some red thrown in and yellow. Looks really good. I really like this guy. He's got one little feature in this mode. Notice this little yellow spot here on the back of his, what is it, that Cobra, what's that called, the fan, I think is what they call that. Get this little button here, push it, his head pops forward, jaw opens, as far as his tail goes back through here, it's articulated quite a bit. It's got a lot of ball joints and swivel joints here and there. And I mean, it is articulated. You can put it in pretty much a lot of poses. He sets very well. Does he roll? Nope. Don't even, he slides pretty good. I just had to throw that in there. He slides real good. Basically, like I said, this is pretty much one of my absolute favorite Maximals from the series. So we'll go ahead and get his transformation going here. First thing I like to do is usually you just come back here. These two fans are pinned in just behind the head. As you can see, this pin here where my thumbnail is, you see that pin, it pins in to this little slot right here. Let's do the same here. Go ahead and get the arms out the way. Now the coolest thing, I like to go ahead and do this and get it over with. The coolest thing about this guy is this is one of his robot feet. And this entire section right through here is his legs. Both legs, right and left. And what you want to do is you want to pull all this through this center section till you get to this point right here. And it should line up just enough. It should line up perfectly to where it goes in and locks in place. or you could just pull it completely apart like I just did. But luckily it's all on ball joints, so it goes back together quite easily. That was fun. Now we get his arms. We'll go ahead and straighten out his arms, get them lined out. Now I do want to point out, I forgot to point out while he was in Cobra mode, the only other kibble that he has, or his hands do show in Cobra mode. And we'll go ahead and straighten out, turn his leg, get his little feet come out. Got a little heel spur in there that I cannot get a hold of. There we go. See if he can stay. He's standing pretty good. Now we'll go ahead and flip all this section back. Slip in, up, and there's his little robot head. Oh, one more thing we need to do is swing this center section right here, just like so. Go over here to the other arm, the center section right here, this black part, you got his arm in this part, you got a center section, rotates up. And then you can come in here, swing out his little scythe. And then on the other arm, you've got, it's supposed to have his spark crystal. There it is. There's his spark crystal. Now there was supposed to be another gimmick in this arm, but they cut it out. It was supposed to be like a little chain with an anchor blade or something. They went in and cut all that out to make room for the spark crystal. And this guy he didn't appear in the show. At all. It's kind of bad. Too bad. They could have had, this would have been a really good character on the show, I think, if they'd had him on the show instead of somebody like Night Scream or even Silverbolt. But as you can see, he's got a really good paint job. The gray, the black, the red, the orange, yellow, everything just kind of blends right in together. And I really like him. Now, as far as his articulation goes, his head, it will turn, but thanks to the way it sits just in between his shoulders, or whatever you want to call them, shoulder pads, it can't do a full 360. It gets hindered. It's hindered due to that. And his head sculpt, it's a little tiny head. It is kind of snakish on its own. Kind of resembles one of the Snake Men from the Masters of the Universe series. Arms are on ball joints at the shoulders, so they will rotate full 360. Elbow joints will rotate full 360. Arms will also go in and out. No wrist movement. No upper ab. Does have a waist joint, so it will go full 360 at the waist. Legs, again, trying to be gentle with them this time, so they don't, on ball joints at the hip, so they go out and in, back. I mean, got wide range of motion on this guy, all the way up. Does have upper calf. Knee joints on ball joint, and we'll rotate full 360, and we'll go back to here. Does have some ankle pivot, also pivot at the calf. So I'm pretty sure you can get this guy into a lot of wild poses so that he can use his scythe of death. You can see just on the outside, inside of that one. But there's Night Viper. If we can get him to stand up. Just the camera. There we have Transformers Beast Machines Night Viper. Like I said, one of my personal favorite figures out of the Beast Machines line, especially the Maximals. So I recommend going to pick him up if you can find him on eBay. Fairly cheap. I wouldn't pay a lot for him. I wouldn't pay a whole lot for him, but he'd be well worth putting in a collection. So I do recommend picking him up. Probably going to be throwing up some more Beast Machines in the future, so probably going to be some less recommended figures. So because I know up until this point everything I've reviewed I've pretty much recommended, so I need to get into there to get some figures out to give you guys my opinion of some very crappy stuff. But oh well, who am I to tell you guys what to buy and what not to buy? I just try to suggest what not buying. But this guy, I suggest you try to find him if you can. So guys, I'm Thunderhound369. This has been my video of Transformers Beast Machines Night Viper. Until next time guys, I'm out of here. See y'all.